All right, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to Card Talk. I'm Ryan, joined as always by Tyler and Lou. And you already know what we're starting with on this show. We were just talking about it off air. I had high expectations for Ohio State, and Lou is going to tell me why that was a mistake. So, Lou, we'll start with what's on your mind, and we'll let you go first.
I will not tell you why it was a mistake. I have a series of questions for you. Number one, when did you know it was over? Because I have a very distinct point in the game where it was over.
Halftime. You get the ball back, you go 3 and out, and you punt the ball.
The first series out of halftime was when it was over.
First series out of halftime. Yeah, it was over.
Okay, my next question is, you texting us about getting into the playoff, was that just like sadness talking, or was that like a real position that you have?
No, it got brought up. Somebody texted me about it. So I'm just like, well, hey, I talk with you guys most about football, so kind of throw it out there.
Mm-hmm.
But you knew
it was potential hope. It was there was a sniff of like, guys, am I crazy? Is there
completely undeserved?
Completely undeserved, yes. And then my last question is it embarrassing for a guy? Wait,
yes.
No, I'm not done. Is it embarrassing for a guy who lost this game 5 times in a row to have a post-game press conference, and the first thing he says is, some people were born on third base thinking they hit a triple, when that man probably is the #1 offender of born on third base and thinks he hit a triple.
Yeah, act like you've been there before, for sure. Not a Harbaugh guy. I will say, you know, I talked about it with Reg beforehand, right? Like, the one thing about streaks is they feel like they go on forever when they happen
until they don't,
and then they finally end. And this is just like the 90s, where Michigan comes in and you have everything on the line. Think of the things at this point we're going to lose. National title, Big Ten title, gone. Out the window, they have no shot. If Bryce Young does not perform well against Georgia, I'm talking like 1 touchdown, 3 interceptions, and they get blown out, I believe Stroud is still the front runner for the Heisman. If that happens.
Oh my God.
He put up 400 yards and 2 touchdowns.
But he's a loser.
Stroud shouldn't win the Heisman, let's be real.
Yeah, he's a loser.
I disagree with that. So at this point,
you believe that quarterback in his first year that lost 2 games and didn't have
Tyler, who's more deserving of the Heisman Trophy?
Someone that plays in the playoff?
Bryce Young.
That's what I'm saying. If Bryce Young beats Georgia, it's a lock. If he plays well against Georgia and loses, it's a lock. If Bryce Young goes look at Bryce Young's stats versus Auburn. They're not that good. He threw a touchdown late. They went to 5 overtimes.
He led a 98-yard drive.
I legitimately sat down. It was 10-3 Auburn. Bama gets the ball. And I was at my uncle's place because we always watch the Penn State game after Thanksgiving there. And they tend to lose in a cold, snowy East Lansing. And they did again. But literally, Alabama gets the ball at down 10-3. And we look at each other and we're like, we should probably get a beer for this overtime. And we got up, got a beer. They then drove down the field, 2 4-down conversions, overtime. They get into 3 overtimes, and it was just inevitable.
If you're Auburn, you got to just go for 2. You just got
100%.
You're not meant to be there.
In hindsight, just win the game. Who cares?
Just win the game. Either win or lose. Like, we don't need to do all this.
Yeah. And the quarterback's like dying. He can't move. Like, just go for 2. And if it's over, it's over.
Real quick. I know we talked about it in group chat. Aiden Hutchinson should be like a top 5 pick.
He should probably be in New York for the finals of the Heisman, right?
Dude's a stud.
He had like 12 sacks. He's going to be the #1 pick in the draft.
We had 13 sacks.
Whatever. He's going to be the #1 pick in the draft.
3 against Ohio State.
He does not get by the Jets. That's
most impressive collegiate performance I saw this weekend. That dude Paolo on Duke against Gonzaga.
By the way, I bet
he was
in that game.
Me too, on Gonzaga. Got smoked.
Oh, that's tough. I had Duke. It was awesome.
Yeah. He was looking next level.
Yeah.
He had 20 in like the first 8 minutes.
Yeah, and then he got cramps.
Yeah, but he was looking filthy.
Side note, before we move on from college football, since my season is over, go Dogs.
Embarrassing.
Go Dogs.
Go Dogs, baby.
You've definitely gotten off with this.
This is a Go Dogs podcast. Go Dogs for sure.
This is a Georgia podcast for the next month.
This is Georgia Dogs, baby.
I'm pulling for Michigan to win the Natty Chip.
Yeah, that's this weird Big Ten thing you do. It's so weird.
No, how's that so weird?
No way. I want Iowa to win.
It's like, hey, we're rivals all year long, and then when we're not good enough to play in an important game,
it makes us better.
Conference.
No, it does not.
Yeah, yes, it does.
No.
How does it make you better to lose to the team?
They're gonna get recruits. They're gonna no way. No, go Dogs.
That's because you're scared. You're playing scared, right?
No, brother.
You're playing scared. How do you not support the conference team to win the championship?
Absolutely.
Go Dogs. That's the softest thing.
That's Bro, go silly. Dogs. You're not a real fan. That's why you're like an average fan.
No. That's average
average fan. Rivals don't root for other people to win. That's not a rivalry.
You're wrong.
That's average.
You're wrong. Bro, you're saying go Georgia? Why do you care? Just don't care.
When Tom Brady and the Patriots went to the Super Bowl, did you root for Brady?
We suck, so let me choose the next best team to win.
Did you root for Brady in the playoffs?
What?
Did you root for Brady in the playoffs? As a Patriot?
I don't care about Brady.
You're a Jets fan. Why don't you root for Brady? That's the same conference.
That's a great concept.
You want your conference in college football to matter, to care. No, and if Michigan goes on and wins a national chip, it's best for the entire Big Ten.
I want Michigan to close the football program. I couldn't care less if they win one game or not.
No, it
Guess
definitely
what? They just whooped your ass.
Yeah,
they smoked
for 4 quarters.
Yeah. So that's why you're salty about it.
It definitely helps.
We gave them a better game.
That's true. It also it helps the conference if one program can get over the top. The Big Ten's been like not able to get over the hump in a while, so that would definitely help the Big Ten. But to say like I'm rooting for Michigan is kind of weird. But I think the audience will be pretty 50-50 on that. I do think that.
Agreed.
There's a lot of weirdos who root for conference.
All right, so Ty, so Lou just gave what's on his mind. So
that wasn't what was on my mind, by the way.
Okay, Lou, then what's on your mind?
I just want to make a point that Tyler Hero is currently the favorite to win NBA Sixth Man of the Year by a significant margin.
What are your thoughts on the MPJ news recently, Lou?
People thought that I was joking about my reaction to that. I had no idea that was the case. Is there more news?
Oh, he's out. He is having surgery.
He's officially out for the year?
I don't know if he's out. It says an indefinite period of time.
I mean, I guess that was expected, so that's not that surprising coming off of last week, but yeah, that sucks for him.
It's tough.
But Tyler Hero minus 160 to win Sixth Man of the Year. Just saying.
Who's the next best?
Next best after that, I think it's like
got to be
somebody
Grayson.
random. It's not Grayson because I wanted it to be really bad. I wanted there to be a race for Sixth Man.
While Lou's looking
Sixth Man of the Year, Montrezl Harrell is plus 1,400. He's the next closest.
He's the next closest at plus 1,400. Where are you looking at these odds?
This is the Barstool Sportsbook.
Interesting.
Yeah. Where is our boy?
Feels like you should just bet Tyler Hero then.
I mean, yeah, it's kind of like the runaway option.
Minus 160 and plus 1,400.
There's a lot of basketball left.
Grayson Allen on this. He's not even on this. How's that possible? It's weird.
Ty, what's on your mind today?
Just, I don't know. Sports are the Rangers. Rangers are on my mind. That's where I'm at in sports right now.
The Rangers are good, huh?
Yeah, the Rangers got a real squad.
Good team.
My man Chris Kreider still balling.
I watched some hockey this weekend.
I've been buying his cards.
Really?
Yep. On some just personal collection stuff.
What's the young kid's name
again? My favorite player since he
that was the #1 pick last year. Alexis Lafreniere.
Yep. Since he came in, Kreider joined the team in the playoffs after finishing his college career at BC.
I remember that.
Was nasty. He was so fast he couldn't stop. He took like multiple penalties in the playoffs. He kept running. You remember that?
Yeah. That was like when they were like going to win the
cup. Yeah. Yeah. They should have. Freaking goalie interference.
Yeah.
It's BS. That's what's on my mind. I don't have too much. I'm buying Chris Kreider cards. Penn State just extended James Franklin 10 years. I feel happy about it, considering that Michigan State gave their coach 10 years and $20 more million. And I take our guy over their guy. So I think market-wise, it'll be a good deal. Jets won. I can't get up for fantasy football nowadays, and it's so bad.
I'm in a battle. I'm in 2 leagues. Like our league is whatever, but I'm in like a real one with my friends, and it's like we're beating the shit out of the best team in the league right now, and I'm fired up about it.
I just couldn't be less interested.
I think you need like a partner. That helped me a lot. I have like my buddy is with me, and it's like we talk all week about it. Like it just keeps us interested, you know.
That does sound pretty fun.
Yeah, it's a good way for us to like hang out more, you know.
Bengals got another win this weekend.
Joey P.
Couldn't believe it.
They're like, real quick, what's on my mind before we get into this? Because I want to talk football. A lot more free time, right? New Year's Day, New Year's Eve, just a lot more open. Not really a lot left to, look forward to.
Tax Slayer Bowl.
Look forward. I'd go to the Rose Bowl and play Oregon again with, a bunch of freshmen because all the guys that matter aren't going to play because they're going to take all their money and go to the draft.
I hope you guys get ND and just get to wax them.
Wow. Why? You think Notre Dame won't get in?
No.
I hope not. They may. My hope is
if Oklahoma State loses, Notre Dame's probably the 4th if Michigan wins.
I think I called that, by the way. I think they were in my playoff batch.
I think at this point it would be Georgia 1, Michigan 2, Cincinnati 3, and Oklahoma State or Notre Dame 4.
Where's Alabama on that list?
They would have 2 losses, and what's their best win?
You're assuming they get like beat up by Georgia.
Yeah, smoked. Like 14.
You're assuming they're the line's 7, so you're saying Georgia covers the spread and they're
yes.
Out. Interesting.
I mean, if it's close, I still don't think they're getting in.
I do.
Yeah.
I think it's a weak bottom.
I think a one-loss Oklahoma State Big 12 champions getting in.
I love that. I would love that.
I think it would be Georgia versus Oklahoma State, and then I think it would be Cincinnati, Michigan.
That's unfortunate.
So,
really
but football
in the final.
Yep. A lot of QBs been struggling lately.
I was literally just about to, before you even say football. Do we think Trevor Lawrence is going to be relevant in 18 months?
I think it's been a rough year for the rookies.
It has.
Well, Ryan's got a decent rookie quarterback.
Yeah, listen, I can think and dunk all day too.
6 in a row. You guys, their coaches over coach of the year.
Number 2 seed in the AFC, I think.
6 in a row is 6 in a row.
It pains me to say, but
there was a tweet the other day. It said Bill Belichick deserves some apologies, and it says Patriots 2nd in the AFC, 1st in the AFC East. Mac Jones favorite rookie of the year, and I'm like, I almost quote tweeted it and said, "Hard talk pod."
Big baseball signing just went down. Corey Seager to the Texas Rangers. If you're hearing this, it's about 24 hours too late. Enjoy.
36 maybe.
Breaking news 36 hours late.
But Ty, Lou, any quick thoughts on football this weekend? I talked about guys struggling. Herbert had a rough day.
This is where I'm at. Michael Porter Jr. is out for the year. Ryan Tannehill went from top 10 quarterback to one of the worst dudes in the league real quick. Penn State just finished up a 7-5 season, and I'm on here to talk about sports right now. Yes, I'm in a tough place. I'm in a tough scene.
Tyler's
Jets
broke.
Literally, we would rather have Sam Darnold back. I don't even understand. At least we know we need a new quarterback. Now we got 2 more years of this whole thing.
Yeah, I'll say this: I wouldn't be buying Jets spots in breaks.
I mean, it's a tough.
Have you
scene
seen
out
what
here.
Zach Wilson
It's a
stuff
tough
sells
scene.
for?
I'm aware it's wildly overpriced.
I mean, $50, $60 an auto. That's
Look, I watched King Richard this weekend.
Great movie.
Fire movie. Venus is sneaky.
All right, we're jumping around too much. I think we have to settle in.
All right. You asked me about football. Tannehill, Jets win, but
listen,
I'm just in a place of pain.
You directly disrespected Jay's request, and it happens, I guess.
Well, I was just priming up the question for later.
At this point, who's the front runner for the MVP?
NFL MVP? Brady, I guess.
Not Jonathan Taylor?
No. But this
do
is
you not like Jonathan Taylor?
I love Jonathan Taylor. I don't think he wins MVP though.
I like him. I mean, dude's got some crazy numbers. I saw a stat the other day.
So why don't you not like him? He went to Wisconsin.
I didn't say I don't like him.
I'm asking you why not? Shouldn't you not like him?
True.
Yeah,
if you're a true fan, shouldn't you be like, F you, you like Wisconsin? I don't like you.
I don't root for him to succeed. I just don't think he's a bad person. I don't like Aiden Hutchinson. I don't like Taylor Lewan. I don't like those guys. I don't root for them to succeed. It's different. I'm not like, hey, go Big Ten.
Yeah, if it's Michigan, it's one thing. Wisconsin's another.
You're talking about the greatest rivalry in sports.
That's a fact.
Like, it's been around longer than Red Sox Yankees. Like, it's 1800s rivalry. Like, we don't like each other. This isn't like 2021.
You guys
like,
called
hey,
it L. I get it.
These MVP odds are out of whack too. This is not a gambling podcast.
Highest odds, and Allen has the second highest.
Just quick point: Brady is at plus 275. Josh Allen's at plus 500, and then Jonathan Taylor is plus 2000. Doesn't that seem out of whack to you?
It's a quarterback game.
Yeah, I guess. It's just the Bills are so bad. Anyway.
All right, let's get into some questions. I know Jason's got a bunch of them. At least I thought he did. These are from Facebook. Shout out to Jay for getting these from the Facebook Card Talk group. If you guys haven't checked that out already, I would encourage you to do so.
Yep.
So this one is from Justice Colwell. It says, I'm curious.
Wait, pause. I made a deal in the Facebook group over the weekend.
Give me more.
I bought a card. I bought, ready for this? I bought a Game Fuel Courage autograph card.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Fire. Mm-hmm. Tell me more. You care to disclose the price?
I do not care to disclose the price currently. No, I'm just kidding. I think I paid $250.
Nice. I like that.
All right. So Justice Colwell says, I'm curious to hear everyone's thoughts on tennis cards in the next couple years. Very rapid growth recently, and with NetPro teasing a 2022 set, I think tennis is going to experience an even larger boom next year.
I like it. I'm aligned. I think these sports have a lot of leverage and power right now. I think that with that crew of Tsitsipas and Joke finally kind of showing some chinks in the armor and some talent coming up, both on the female side and on the male side, I think it'll come down to if NetPro can put out a good product as well. I think that's important. I don't think that's just a given just because they can put out some tennis cards. Mm-hmm. And I think that the marketing and content in and around it matters, but I could see some engine coming in and trying to do some more tennis content. But like the King Richard thing was big, and I think these one-off kind of sports experiences, if they land the product, I'm long on it for sure.
Yeah, I think something to be aware. Like my general reaction is like I'm into that because I think there's a lot of young talent in tennis right now. The one thing I would caution against is it feels a little bit like when Upper Deck put out like Artifacts or whatever.
I was just going to say the same thing. It was $1,000 a box.
Yeah, like I'm into it, but it's like the interest just wasn't there. Yep. And I feel like tennis and golf are like very similar in terms of like viewership and everything like that.
Yep.
Maybe not numbers, but like the type of people who engage with those sports.
Yep.
So something to caution against. I don't think it should stop you from making a play on a current player.
Yep.
But just something to think about.
That was literally the thing going through my mind is golf, high expectations. They're getting golf back. Some of these guys don't have any cards, right? Like some of the upcoming stars. Golf comes out, Artifacts like $800,000, $900,000 a box. It comes out and then it just tanks. The resale value is not there. DeChambeau stuff doesn't do super well. A lot of the other guys, just nothing sells super crazy. And then it just kind of tanks, right? Tiger stuff still sells. Mickelson stuff sells. Like the GOAT stuff sells.
But that like Venus will always.
But that always sells. Like it's not any different because it comes out. So I would say the same thing as Lou. I would just be cautious on some of the newer stuff. I think some of them could sell. I don't know how much King Richard or some of the attention or exposure to tennis helps. But I would be just as cautious as Lou. All right. So Darren Young says thoughts on.
Wait, Lou, you had an anecdote for tennis that you wanted to mention.
Tennis. It was that I opened up another pack of these Levi's cards, and I'm definitely sending these to Ryan.
Nice. Osaka?
Definitely sending these Osaka. Just think it's an interesting play. She doesn't have a lot of cards, and it's like an alternate. I will say I just looked up the Artifacts cards. Like the DeChambeau added 999 is $30. That's like yikes, man. You know what I mean? Like I figured that would be higher. So just something to think about.
All right, Darren Young asks, and I know we've talked about this before, so I'm curious to get your guys' current take on this. Thoughts on Panini still releasing 2020 NBA products at the end of 2021? We haven't heard of any 2021 products which feature rookies in pro jerseys. So my understanding from what I have heard is the first product will be hoops with 2021 jerseys, and it would likely be out beginning of 2022. That's just a disaster. Like, to be frank, like that's a nightmare.
How is it possible they got this far behind? Respectfully, like I get it. There's a lot of challenges. It's COVID. There's a million different things that go into it. But like, how is it possible that we're going to be in 2022 and there's nothing with Cade Cunningham in a jersey in a Pistons jersey?
Yeah. So
I mean, I was going to make the same point just about Josh Giddey, but
yeah, you know what I'm saying?
It seems like at this point there should have been, again, like respectfully, right? I don't know.
Yeah, there's a lot of things that go into.
There's a lot of stuff at play on this. Some products should have probably been axed. Like
get
Flux
rid of something
and Recon. Like we don't have Mosaic basketball, Immaculate basketball, or Flawless basketball. 3 of the top 7 products of the year for basketball for LaMelo's rookie year are not out in my man's in his sophomore season. At what point do you get caught up? I don't anticipate slowing down. Again, I'm not trying to be hard on Panini because like just it is what it is. I don't know what goes into this, but like if we don't decrease production next year, like does this cycle ever end? That would be my $1 million question for the guys at Panini is like, when do you get caught up?
Yeah, like is there going to be are they going to put out 2021 stuff like 3 months after they put out the 2020? Like what are we doing here?
Because there's products that are coming out in LaMelo's year, like Recon and Flux and some of these other ones that are new products this year. So if they make more products next year that are new, would that theoretically just push everything back even more? Like it just
and is the issue the release calendar or is it securing autographs and jerseys to create the cards? Like
I guess what's the question for Panini? I don't know.
It just seems like it can be solved like one way or the other, and that they don't have it is a serious issue.
It will be very interesting to see what happens to the value of the upcoming releases that are big time releases. What happens to those? I mean, Contenders Optic comes out this week, right? You still have that. That's a pretty big release. I know that's one of Lou's favorite products of the year. And then you still have Mosaic. Like, I think that comes out December 5th. And then you have Flawless and Immaculate. That'll be out. I think Flawless comes out in January. What's going to happen
2020, right?
2020, 2021 with LaMelo.
Yeah, like when's 21 coming out?
That's so insane.
When is Cade Cunningham going to have a Flawless card?
A year from now.
That's insane.
Yeah, a year.
That's a serious problem.
A year.
It's a serious problem. If only because it's a problem for like just keeping interest in the thing. Like, I don't know. Like who else is in LaMelo's class right now?
Anthony Edwards.
And who else?
That's
this time last year, there was a lot more hype with other players. That's all I'm saying. It's gonna hurt the releases. It just is. And I guess maybe like you can make an argument that that's good because it keeps the prices down. But you know,
I think a calendar is really important for the continuity and health of like.
But the calendar changes every day. I'm telling you.
You know the most. You know the most. Communication helps solve things because if not knowing is the toughest, and maybe we can help with that.
Yeah, it'll be interesting. All right, Alexander Laribator says, "Do you think Pokemon will crash next year? The 25th anniversary, with the 25th anniversary done, the hype won't be the same."
No, I don't think they ever actually executed on the 25th anniversary thing in the way that we thought they did. And we were like one of the first people saying that, and it just seemed they just didn't execute on it for whatever reason. They did. Sorry,
I thought they did. I thought
they had that release, right? I take that back.
I thought they did. I thought
it didn't have the impact we thought.
It didn't have the maybe macro like mass market. I think I've seen on the signals that I pick up, the people that I talk to, parents with kids, like they want new Pokemon product. I don't know, Rye, if you move new Pokemon product out of your store, but like to me, there's healthy demand for all the new Pokemon releases.
Yeah, celebrations.
So like that's been hot.
I don't
do a lot of it, but
Evolving Skies.
So I don't think so. I think that will maintain its health. I think it'll continue its health. I think Pokemon has re-emerged as like a real cultural brand and IP. And I mean, they just did the Oreo thing. That was hitting.
Jay makes a good point. Yeah, Jay makes a good point. Says McDonald's Happy Meal cards were flying early this year. There were people lined up buying them by the case.
That's true.
So these markets evolve and time, like stuff happens so fast now. I look almost as Pokemon as like a microcosm of the larger hobby. And if you want to say compare basketball and Pokemon, like there's pockets that aren't as ripping hot as there were, but there's definitely arbitrage opportunities if we're talking about making money. And I think wax is still a good play on a lot of the newer products because I'm seeing demand.
Speaking of wax, Tyler, this is a good question and one I'm actually excited to talk about. So Rob McNichol asks, how will auto redemptions affect future value of sealed wax that hobbyists already own? Take into account expiration dates and Panini losing NFL, NBA licensing and redemptions not being filled. So this is I want to point out something that this is notorious in the argument about keeping select football with XRCs in there. Right, keeping an XRC of like a guy like Mahomes or Trevor Lawrence or Josh Allen or Lamar, those expire, right? So this is something that's gone on for a while. So I'm curious, what are your guys' thoughts on that?
I don't think is it crazy to be like they should take away the what's it called? Like the expiration date for an XRC? Anything that's not an autograph. Realistically, they could probably take it away for everything, but couldn't they just take it away for like a regular card?
I don't know about that. There's got to be some sort of inventory constraints there where like if you do that, like having those stored forever, like 20 years, like just doesn't seem like something I wouldn't want to do it.
Wouldn't it make sense that they know how many they printed so they can just print them and have them there in case anyone decides they want to?
Yeah, but if you're going to keep, like I have a case of select football. I own a case.
Mm-hmm.
So if there's an XRC QB1 in there of Trevor Lawrence, and I keep
be able to get that
5 or 10 more years, I just don't think Panini wants to keep it for 5 or I wouldn't.
Yeah, I get it. I'm just saying I think they should be able to, but that's besides the point.
It's really tough right now. There's a lot of unanswered questions.
I think this is an interesting argument when there are major players that are redemptions, i.e. LaMelo Ball.
I would agree.
LaMelo's
which they all are right now, right?
A lot of them. He's in live products now, but like a lot of LaMelo's first stuff was redemptions. Like I think he's a redemption in Prism. I think Prism still holds value because of LeBron golds and Zion second year golds and Giannis golds and all that, gold being Prism. But yeah, I think it matters when like, hey, key cards in this set are redemptions. Like Joe Burrow's a redemption in Contenders. Like at some point that card's got to be like, hey, we got to move this or we got to rip it or sell it. I don't know. It'll be interesting. It's one I don't know the answer to now because you don't know what Panini's going to do or say years from now, but it definitely has long-term complications if they decide not to honor him.
Yeah. I mean, I guess in theory, they know when they're not making them anymore. So they can just make all the expiration dates after like that day. Like that doesn't seem like that big of a deal, but yeah.
But imagine you have a product, let's say it's Contenders Football 2020 with Joe Burrow, Herbert, Jefferson, guys like that.
You have 2 years to fill out your thing.
Yeah. Panini's like, yep, if you pull Joe Burrow, nothing we can do.
And that's what do you mean?
I'm just saying, like, if you hold that box, right, for 5 years, Panini loses their license, right, and Fanatics takes over. Panini doesn't make any more football cards.
Yeah, that's my point from the beginning. They should be doing these in advance, and they know how many they need, so they can just. It's not like they don't have a storage solution. Like they have a storage solution. So like, these things should be solved. I don't get why they're not, and I don't want to sound like I'm now attacking Panini, but like, you know what I mean? Because I'm not attacking them. I'm saying it feels like this is something that they should know how to handle, or have a plan. They definitely have a plan for these things.
Interesting. All right, so Chris and Sarah McCamey ask, what does Tyler and Lou's day-to-day work look like?
Lou, you go.
No, you should go.
Cool. My day-to-day looks like I run a media property called 1:37 p.m. Card Talk is a part of that. We have a team of now 43 people, and we publish and produce content both organically and or in partnership with clients such as eBay, like this. So my role is general manager. I oversee all the things like the staffing, hiring, the firing. I oversee our kind of editorial content, so editor-in-chief in some sorts of what we want to be covering, how we want to be covering it, meaning through what platforms and what our angle and take is. And then general business development and connecting with potential partners, potential people we want to cover, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera.
I am a part of a 3-person team managing Gary's calendar, email life, business life, all of that stuff. So there's myself and 2 other people. Shout out to Alex and Val, who definitely are not going to listen to this. And then basically what we do all day is like I sit in this chair and I answer emails and I get on the calendar and I talk to Gary about things he needs to do all day. And that's pretty much it.
How about you, Ryan?
My days are go, 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 go. I don't manage 43 people, but we have 12 currently on payroll, and to have grown so quickly and with all the different things that the business is in with grading and content and, a shop and an eBay store and a website and just a lot of different things going on. It's very eventful. So it's a lot of what we do now is just go, 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 go.
Dude, Black Friday looked ripping in the store.
Black Friday was crazy in the store. Yeah, it was wild. Wild.
That's dope. Yeah, what time were you guys open till?
So I was up at 7 a.m., was at the shop at 7:30. We opened at 10 and then closed at 6. Gave away some stuff at 6:15, 6:30 on Facebook Live. Went live on Whatnot from 7 to 1:30 a.m. and then was home at 2 a.m. So spent 19 straight hours in the shop.
And then you slept 2 a.m. Your same Eastern time. I always mess it up.
2 a.m. to about 7:30 a.m. and got up with no sleep to watch Ohio State get their break speed in.
And were you just sweats from 7:30 to noon? Like what's your morning?
Just sitting there like hyperventilating, like can this just happen? And then it happens and it's like this is the worst thing ever.
Pain. I'm sorry.
No, it is what it is, right? I'm not as bad as you and your teams, right? Like 7 and 5.
That was a lash out.
I
was being nice, by the way.
I know. I'm sorry.
That was unnecessary.
I'm past the point of.
I apologize. I'm an asshole.
That was a shot.
We were beating Michigan. I mean, we lost, but we were beating Michigan with very little time left, and our quarterbacks decided to run into each other.
But like we beat Michigan State by like 56 to
I know, and we lost. It was dumping snow. I asked in both spots. East Lansing, it was coming down hard.
Yeah.
Michigan was awesome.
Yeah. All right. Smallville Sports Card says, with Winter Olympics coming in 2022, any trading cards or cards of any type that you are looking to get?
Is there going to be a Topps Olympic release?
I would assume so. There was a Summer Games one.
So that'll be fun.
Olympic hopefuls.
I'll pay attention to that. There was a wrestler who I got. I have.
What's the Flying Tomato do?
Excuse me.
The Flying Tomato, bro.
That's Sean White. Is that what you're
Yeah.
I don't think anyone calls him that except for you.
Come on. You picked up on it.
I figured it out.
Come on, bro.
I'm with it. I'm fine with it.
The Flying Tomato. He's got a 03 Pro Core X Games rookie card.
I'm not looking at anything specific. I think I'll probably participate in a break while I'm watching if it catches my interest. It hasn't really been on my radar. Like, when are the Olympics?
My overall take on it is that the Olympics are getting less relevant every go round, and
it's just like a not important event.
Agreed.
I just don't know who's the person. Like, that's why I make a joke about Sean White, because
February 4th to 20th.
I don't know who like the best winter, most decorated right now going into the Winter Olympics is. I'm always thinking about snowboarding. Obviously, there's probably some sick figure skaters. The way that I would look at the Olympics, who has the biggest social following, who's making cultural impact. Like,
in Beijing.
Yes.
Didn't they just have the Olympics there recently? Like 2008 or something?
Maybe summer? I don't know.
Maybe. I don't
know. Not a big Olympics person.
Yeah, I'm with Tyler on that. 100%.
They're getting less relevant. I mean,
agreed.
They're now used to sell the streaming service. Is Giannis pumping Bobby Portis' cards? Okay, Xavier, is Giannis pumping Bobby Portis' cards? What's your thought about Giannis bringing sports cards into this interview? I thought it was glorious.
Awesome.
I don't know what Giannis was cooking on, or if he's got to deal with Panini, or if he just truly loves his cards and like that was his bit. and maybe someone gave them to him like before the game or something. I don't know. Maybe after the game, a fan handed them to him.
I think, but Giannis has shown on his story before though that he has.
I just don't know how they get to the press conference.
Yeah, like where did he? Why does he have like a blue?
Like I'm wondering
Bobby
if
Portis Prism rookie out of
fan,
like 199.
Like, I'm wondering if a fan gave them to him post game, and he'd be the type of cat to be like, "Oh, like thank you," like, and then pull them out at the press conference. But he definitely mentioned that he's picking up some Graysons too, so I was pumped about that. Bobby Portis is also a character, one of the most colorful characters in the league. And yeah, is Giannis holding up Prism cards at the press conference make me happy? Yes.
Can I make a point? Sure. I didn't realize that all these guys were just on his team already, so that might be the joke.
Oh yeah, that's his squad.
I did not know that.
You thought he just picked random NBA athletes.
I thought he was like just really into Bobby Portis. I knew about Grayson Allen.
Got it. No. Yeah. Bobby Portis is like on the squad, so that's what.
Got it.
I think like a fan was like, "Hey, I got these for you. I know you're into cards. These are your teammates." Is my guess, or he just is carrying around.
If you got a light blue Prism, you're just giving that away.
I mean, to be honest,
it's probably like $8.
Bobby Portis.
Probably like $8.
I get it, but it's like
$8.
Yeah, but like let's think ahead for it. Like let's have
even if it was 50, the guy just has the story for the rest of his life. I gave Giannis his cards. Yeah, it's my card.
It's worth every dollar.
We never said it was. And then like let's have a conversation. Like if I would never do this, so I don't want to be accused of doing this. If I was giving cards of Bobby Portis to Giannis, I'd probably want to have some on the side to just like hand out, like pop them on, you pop them on, you sell them. You know what I'm saying? Like,
the old pump and dump.
Nobody's like, oh gosh, Giannis mentioned Bobby Portis.
You're saying the dude executed the old pump and dump?
No, I think he did it because he gave away a sky blue. That's a bad job. I'm saying like you throw him like a base.
My thought is this: there's an individual that likes sports cards that's a Bucks fan. Got to go down.
I think it was Aaron.
It might have been. And yeah, that's what I got.
I'm just saying, like, that would be on my mind.
I don't know how he got. I would love to know the story. Someone on Twitter that's done the investigative work, someone that's really looked into this. How and why does he have cards at the press conference?
Yeah, I would love to know.
All right, so last question. Tom Wright says, Ryan, how does Christmas generally impact sales at the shop? And how does everyone think holiday spending impacts the card market? So I'll leave you guys for the second part on this. So typically, just with 2 years of sales data at this point, December is one of the best months of the year, right? Top three, top third. Typically, like, again, the sales data I have from the 2.5 years I've been open, almost 3 years, December is typically one of the better months. It's been top 2 the last 2 years. So Christmas is typically a pretty good time for cards. There's also a lot of stuff coming out, a lot of new product that also plays into it. We've talked about it in the past, 2019, my first year open, Prism Basketball had just come out. It won't be out this year for the new guys, but you're going to have Contenders Optic. You're going to have Immaculate. You're going to have Mosaic Basketball. You're going to have 1-in-1 Basketball. You're going to have Illusions Football. You're going to have a lot of stuff. So you have Bowman Draft Baseball coming out soon. So you're going to have 10 to 12 products in the next 4 weeks that'll make December typically pretty good, on top of people looking for things for gifts for the hobby or for their, significant others or kids or something like that. And then additionally, December 11th is National Hobby Shop Day. It's a Saturday. So that's also typically a pretty good day.
December 11th?
Yeah, December 11th is National Hobby Shop Day. That's typically a pretty big day. A lot of promotions, giveaways, things like that. So yeah, December is typically pretty good. But Ty, Lou, what are your thoughts on how do you think the holiday spending impacts the card market?
Yep, good.
I think it does wonders. People spending money, man. This whole Christmas, the day after Thanksgiving, is like, we don't even get to December 1st. And people want to buy stuff and spend money. And I think that it's hot right now to give a box of cards as a gift. Hotter than I think it's hotter this year than it was the year before, and hotter than 2 years ago. And so I'm major like for it. I think spending will be up. I think in products though, like hoops, in products like Pokemon stuff, I think it's the gift giving aspect more so than people buying more for themselves.
Right. Have you ever offered break spots like as gift cards?
Like a particular spot in a break?
No, just like saying like, hey, here's a gift card for $150 to Card Collector 2 breaks.
No, because our breaks are on our website and it's a different POS than what we use in store.
I see.
So we don't have.
I feel like I'm literally just thinking about this just now. I'm definitely gonna want to give my dad like break spots for Christmas because that's what he likes.
We do not break enough to have that gift card thing, and this is more an excuse rather than a valid reason. We just don't break enough to do it. I'm sure the biggest top 15, 20 breakers who break through their website probably have some sort of option. I would imagine at least 50% of the top people do.
Yeah, because I'm just thinking about like if you're going online to give somebody a gift, right? Like you want to give a kid a box of cards for Christmas, like the cheapest you're going to pay is like $50 to $75 for like a blaster you find on eBay, right? Like unless you happen to see one in a store somewhere. I feel like a $75 break credit is more fun than a $75 blaster of, contenders draft picks.
Yeah, but in the same breath though, all the retail stuff's down. Like that stuff.
Yeah, I'm just saying like in terms of like the quality of product you can get. Sure. Like you can give a better quality gift with a break spot than
Yeah, interesting. All right, let's get into play of the week. See what we got here. So play of the week is brought to you by eBay, your number one stop for all things cards and collectibles. And before we start, Jason says, this is one of the most competitive plays of the week ever. I have no clue which one you guys are going to choose. There is no favorite heading in. All right, let's see what we got.
Favorite.
First one is going to be from I2 Cards. It says,
I loved Elway growing up.
He said, hello, I was in Ryan's Whatnot live stream and saw he has a John Elway card numbered at a 25 from 1999. Upon a closer look, it was 7th of 25, Elway's jersey number. Saw that Ryan had noticed it and took advantage. I definitely knew what it was. I bought this card at the National in a bigger deal off a guy who had a Brett Favre Super Collection. So I knew what it was.
I2 Cards. You don't know anything.
Our team definitely missed that. I was aware of what it was. Bought it for $101, and upon getting it sold for $192 on eBay. Not huge, but felt good, making decent margins from a card I bought from Ryan. Also, Tyler, I hope you're paying close attention because it looked hard enough. You can see a real top 10 quarterback.
That was mean. Yikes. He doesn't need that right now.
No, but that's great. I mean, $100 to $192. I mean, it's hard to beat that. Yes, the old school John Elway 90s inserts numbered. That stuff's hard to find, yet alone a jersey number. This is definitely one I'm sure I lost on in the grand scheme of things. So this would not be my play of the week. But glad it was for somebody else.
The Broncos were pretty cool. And I2 Cards, I appreciate the dig. I won't bury your play, but we'll keep it moving.
All right, this is from Heart Trooper. It says, I bought 7 Holland 2019 Panini foosball stickers for €315, so €45 each, exploiting the fact that these were more abundant in Europe than the US. Then sent to Ryan for grading. I sold 4 of them, keeping 3 for 3,105 USD. That's 2,750 euros. That's 9x my money with 3 cards in my vault. Looking for the next European opportunity now. I'm thinking Fati or Pedro. Thanks, Dan James.
Jeez. Heart Trooper, the legend.
That's a play.
That's a good play.
With the V-Friend picture, by the way.
November 20. Yeah, and he sold the last one on November 17, 2021.
1850. That's wild.
That's an auction, right? That screenshot? I don't know. It's a great job.
It's a fantastic job.
Yeah, it's the classic. Like you look for like the international eBay page, and you can make a play through there. Look at his Insta. Yeah, he has the V-Friend profile picture too. Shout out.
That's crazy. And he kept 3, made 9x his money. I mean, hard to argue with that.
Ryan, do you think that you would sell the rest of those and get a really good Holland?
You're up so much at this point. If you believe in soccer, and my understanding is, Ty, you could probably attest to this more. I think Holland's market's down at the moment. with them missing the World Cup. I think his market's down, and he just returned from injury. I know he scored. But I would assume his market's not super, super hot at the moment. And you're already up 9x. So at this point, like you have $0 into them. At this point, I think you'd throw them back, wait 5-6 years, and just see what happens. This is a long-term hold.
That card is hot.
Yeah, but don't you think you can get a better card with
so that's a different argument, right? Like, hey,
that's what I'm saying.
You want to sell all these and buy a nice Holland Topps Chrome auto or Finest auto?
Spend $5,000 on a really good card.
Yeah, that's a different argument, right? I'm just like, if I'm up 9x my money and I don't care to like go buy another Holland auto or Holland auto, I'm just gonna throw these in the vault and just sit on something. Because there's just no risk at this point. You're up $2,000+ and have 3 cards locked away for a rainy day.
What's the 145, 1850?
They got to be low grades, right? Because that PSA 10 at $2,700.
Well, there's an 1850 at the bottom. That's probably a 9.
That's the last 10 did $2,700. I see on eBay.
Yeah, 2,641 bids, 2,741 bids, 2,463 bids.
So if it's high, for perspective, is that high?
It's bounced back up. He came back from injury, but it's pretty where it's been. October went for 2,350.
September 13th, it was a $4,000 card.
3,900. September 27th. They're officially out of the World Cup. 4,300. September 15th. Down.
Yeah. All right. Let's move on.
I'm not a big. So I don't do Holland.
This is from Slabs and Kicks 96. Said, hey guys, back for a W, hopefully this time. Following the Mexico Grand Prix, I saw a listing for Lewis Hamilton base number 1, ending early the following day. And since he had lost, I decided to go for it. And I knew it could be a good opportunity, and lucky I got it for cheap as $80 all in. At the same time, I've been on the lookout for more copies of this card. Came across a lot on Facebook for 200, which included one Lewis base. After the win of Lewis in Qatar, I decided to list both in a lot for $225 each. Within minutes, got an offer for $200 each, and I sold them. Made $95 profit on the one I got off eBay auction, with the other one almost having paid off the price of the lot, and have the rest of the cards left to sell. Huge fan of the show. Shout out to Lou. That's a good lot because that's it's a Hamilton lot. So I can't see the rest of the lot. I thought it was the Leclerc lot. I'm like, that's a nice Leclerc variation right there from Sapphire. That's kind of cool.
It looks like there's a few Grand Prix in there, and then like the track tag thing.
Yep, track tag and a couple Sapphires and a refractor.
Listen, we've talked about it 100 times. I won't overdo it. F1, I believe, has the best upside for short-term flips right now.
I want to get a box and sit on it.
I like it because I
just bought 2.
I enjoy it, like watching it, and Regina watches it, so that's what makes it fun, is to watch it with her. Shout out to you guys. Picked this up the other day.
Oh baby,
fire!
Oh, and mine's
Verstappen patch auto at a 10 from Dynasty.
But
first max auto. Now I got to go for Lewis, but he's just so expensive.
This is a pro HGA podcast now.
What do we got there?
Lube. You said those are local, right?
Yeah, guy lived 4 minutes away from me. It was wild. Couldn't believe it. Orange. Like, that was a gold George, orange Ricardo, gold Ricardo, 70th gold George. Like, I was all over that.
He said he was
next
all over
year.
That.
Next season.
Yes.
What are the odds that neither the top 2 dogs win it?
Next year, you're saying next season, what are the odds someone other than Lewis or Max win?
Yep.
Pretty low, I would say. Because I think Lewis still has like 3 or 4 more years left in him, probably, and then Max is still young.
We can get more into it offline, but I would be more curious about like your thoughts on like the rule changes, because aren't they trying to like level the playing field more?
Yeah, I don't have all the information on that, honestly. I would talk to somebody else, but
I would love if any listeners have any feedback on that and would love to tweet about that. I would love to learn more about what that means for the playing field next year. And to Tyler's point, does anyone like Leclerc, George Russell?
Yeah, I think it'll help.
Lando, any of those guys have a real outside, a real shot to win? Or is this going to be Max and Lewis part 2?
I think this is one of those things where like they're trying to level the playing field, but the top always figures it out. That's kind of how it.
Really? You think that?
I think he's a man on a mission.
Dude, he is coming for it.
The idea, Tyler, like the idea that he won the last race is like so bananas.
Crazy, right?
Like he had no business winning that race. And that's something you do when you're the best of all time and you're going to win a championship. That's just what happens.
It's going to be so awesome if he wins.
It is going to be sick.
One race left to decide it all.
It's going to be sick if he wins.
And the last race is at like 8 a.m. Eastern time, so I cannot wait.
I'll be.
All right. Next play. All right. This is from Super Short Print on IG. It says, I bought $5 to 2020 MLS on demand back in November 2020, based on y'all talking about how limited they are and may be even more limited than we think based on numbered cards and how many boxes were sold. Paid $50 each per box. Sat on them for a year, and then with Ricardo Pepe blowing up, I started to sell. Sold one at $280, flipped it into a Pepe SGC 9.5. Sold two more with $312 and then $350, and still have two more left to either sit on or sell when the U.S. men's national team starts playing the World Cup. I'm up 400 with two more boxes. Thanks for the heads up last year. So I actually bought 12 of these in Chantilly, the Chantilly, Virginia show earlier this year, probably 6, 8, 9 weeks ago. And somebody had also mentioned like, hey, I had heard that these were like the same thing. I don't remember you guys talking about it. I should have paid more attention when you did. But wasn't there a rumor that they had made a bunch of these and then they didn't sell all of them? So some of the numbered stuff kind of like ended up getting moved elsewhere. I don't remember what happened with these, but I know that there was some issues with like, hey, there was not as many boxes made or something. I don't remember the exact thing about this, but that's kind of what he's talking about here is they may be even more limited than we think based on numbered cards and how many boxes were sold.
Yeah.
I think that was the case.
I think that was as well. I don't remember exactly what it was, but that sounds generally right. Either way, great job. $50, you take a shot on these things. If you can afford to throw the 300, like, good idea.
Yep. Again.
And then he did the right thing, right? He flipped it into the card you want out of it anyway in a good grade.
Dude, one went for 500.
So I bought 12 of them, Ty, like 8, 9 weeks ago. And at the time they were doing right around, I want to say like 350, 375.
Mm-hmm. 5 on October 8th, 5 did 1929.
So it's about $400 a box.
And he did 5 for 325.
Wow.
Soccer continues to the market. There's so much space in it. There's so many players. There's so many prospects. The MLS is in its own right. There's so many leagues. There's so many clubs. There's so many tournaments.
Just the lack of supply.
Mm-hmm.
We talk about like we're getting basketball and football products every week for the last 6 weeks of the year. And we haven't had a top soccer release since MLS or Merlin. Like it's been what? I mean, what's the last soccer release we had? I think it was Merlin.
They really, I mean,
maybe Stadium
quality. That's why the the quality products.
That's the real thing. The quality of products is so low.
Yeah, it's very interesting.
So low. There's like nothing.
Jay, is that it? Nope, there's one more. All right. This is from On the Hunt. What's up, Card Talk Squad? Back in March, I really noticed the whole GOAT market boom. I started thinking about ones that hadn't yet, and that got me into Jesse Owens. Go Bucks. I noticed he was still relatively cheap, and that's when I came across an extremely rare lot of 3 1936 Alpha Olympic Skalt.
Skyit, it looks like.
Skyit, okay. It looks like an L. I thought it was an L. Yeah. Jesse Owens rookies. I was able to win them on bids, and with taxes and fees, I was all in for about $235. A few months ago, I noticed his market starting to take off, so I sent these into PSA on Express for $150 a pop. Came back decent grades, especially for the age. All in all, I spent about just under $700. I was able to sell the PSA 2.5 and the 3 together for $1,600. Wow. I was able to double my money and have the rarest one left, the PSA 6, which is considered his rarest rookie card with only 11 graded by PSA. I hope this play with an Ohio State GOAT will cheer Ryan up after a tough weekend. Hey,
shout out. That's amazing.
That's awesome. I have one Jesse Owens thing in my collection. It is a signed check. Don't really have a lot. But this is super cool. I did not know about this card.
Yeah, I'm trying to see. Sweet.
I like the idea of like making all the money and then keeping the rarest one. That's super cool. Definitely in on that. Right.
Real quick. He said rarest card. Is this one of these things where it's like?
I mean, I meant rarest of the 3.
Yeah, totally.
So he got 3. He kept a better one. So I'm a fan of sell the quantity, keep the quality.
Meaning high. Like I don't know if the PSA 6 is the highest pop.
Yeah, so I'm looking at this as
the highest grade.
Yeah, so I'm looking at this like he could have sold the 6 and done the same exact thing, or probably made a little bit more, or he could have sold the 2 and 3, made some money, and sat on the 6. He chose to keep the 6.
And you think he did the right thing?
I think so. That's what I would have done.
Me too. Me too. I would have done the same. I
would have done the same as well. I think we don't have to talk about it too much. If we agree on this play was good, we could do a replay of all the other ones. I think I know my winner.
Jay, can you go back to him?
So it's Jesse Owens, top soccer box, F1. I think it froze. Oh, Holland. And okay, my pick is Jesse Owens.
You want me to go?
I picked Jesse Owens.
Yeah, I'll be the tiebreaker in this case, because I've got 2 I'm debating between.
Interesting. Okay. I mean, yeah.
These are pretty good.
I know. I'm trying to come up with my narrative right now. It is competitive. That it's not that one because he buried me, but also debatable play. This Holland, I've just never been able to get there. Maybe it's because I'm salty that I never went in on him, but I think it's going to play out. The Jesse Owens is the best play. The MLS one was my close second.
I would have said Holland's my close second, but I would agree with the Jesse Owens play. The Holland one, the variety, like sending those in to get graded, cashing in, keeping some, that's cool. The Jesse Owens is the play. That's crazy. That's a play.
Yeah, I think anytime you grade so much of this podcast and so much of the hobby, like I like that we've gotten away from everything. It's like PSA 10, PSA 10, PSA 10, but buying something off eBay, grading it, and getting it as a graded 2.5 and flipping it, I think is pretty sweet. And I think it needs to be thought about more.
And it's also like he was like, all right, greatest athletes, who's around, who can I play in, who might be underrated at the moment. He's like Jesse Owens, like probably the greatest track and field athlete of all time.
Right? Kept the left eye on the market, seeing it heating up, took profit off the table.
Good job.
Yep, that's our winner.
Yeah, it's kind of, and then nice little anecdote for Rye too.
Yeah, the only Ohio State win of the weekend.
Yeah, Jesse Owens flip.
All right, that's our winner.
Man.
All right, that
was tough, huh? I mean, I was on the podcast saying they were going to beat the brakes off of Michigan.
Yeah, I mean, dude, it's done. We're a Go Dogs podcast now.
But big basketball game coming up for you guys. I think you have a nice little upset W coming up. Just saying.
Who are they?
I mean, how do I know that and you don't? They're playing Duke at home.
When?
I think tonight or tomorrow.
I might dial into college hoops.
Yeah,
I think I kind of want to. High level college basketball is like good stuff.
College football is also so much better than the NFL, but that's besides.
By a mile. You got some releases this week: XR football and Contenders Optic basketball.
Contenders Optic basketball. I'll be paying attention.
I just want to lose faves.
I'm interested to see what happens. Yeah, so Duke OSU is 9:30 p.m. on Tuesday at OSU. I think Duke is like an 8-point underdog or something like that. It's gonna be nuts. But yeah, big release.
Duke cannot be an underdog at Ohio State for basketball.
I think they are. I'll double check.
No way.
Does Ohio State have some talent? 8-point dogs.
What are you doing with this pack? What are you doing over there?
I was ripping something over.
Ty got this.
Sorry.
I can't find the Duke line. I'm pretty sure
8.
I think it's like 8. I'm not even kidding.
They were getting 7 from Gonzaga, but it was neutral.
Neutral. This is at Ohio State.
Is it a tough place to play?
It's a true road game. Like that's not nothing to sneeze at.
I have a ton of Ohio State games, so I'm not like
tough place to play, tough environment.
Jam. Basketball, I want to win, but like they're not as talented as Gonzaga or Duke.
I mean, they had a good squad for a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, Michi Johnson.
Yeah, that
good.
white boy, 4-year white boy, that was nice.
Aaron Craft.
Yeah, legend.
Yeah, Michi Johnson's there now. He's not. Yeah, he's good.
His career will probably end early, just because as I like him.
All right, we got to wrap. I got to go.
All right. It's been a pleasure, everybody.
That's an episode. See you guys next week.
Peace.